Now, I'm going to be completely honest. This second superseding indictment, in my opinion, is worse than the first one. But they did get rid of the lyrics, which is a big old W. So let's do it. So, of course, after I freaking get done with what I get done with, the second superseding indictment paperwork is finally here. So y'all want to see it right here? You know, circle that right there. All right. Second superseding indictment. All right, cool. Now we got that understood. 18 USC conspiracy and use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death. So when Drew said that it got dropped, he said the bounty part. So hey, Drew, that's on you, bruh. So shout out to the dude who took his little shots at me. That's perfectly fine. All right, so the murder for hire part is still on there. Use, carry, and discharge of firearms and machine gun in possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crimes of violence resulting in death. 18 USC 9220. Possession of a machine gun. 18 USC 981A 1C. 924 D1 and 28 USC 2461C criminal forfeiture. All right, so the bounty part is gone, which to me is going to speak volumes of that. But we'll deal with that as it comes. I ain't finna even jump off of that. All right. The grand jury charges. Introductory allegations. In or around 2010, defendant Durk Banks, also known as a.k.a. Lil Durk, a.k.a. Blood, a.k.a. Mustafa Abdul Malik, formed an organization called Only the Families, or OTF, which, among other things, producers sold hip-hop music from artists primarily from Chicago, Illinois area. OTF also acted as an association, in fact, of individuals who engaged in violence, including murder and assault, and at the direction of the defendant Banks, and to maintain their status in OTF. At times relevant to the second superseding indictment, defendant Banks was the leader of OTF. Defendants Kevon London Grant, a.k.a. Cuz, and Vonnie Dontrell Wilson, a.k.a. Didi, ASA Houston, or Asa Houston, a.k.a. Boogie, and co-conspirators 2 through 5 were members or associates of OTF. Defendants Keith Jones, a.k.a. Flocka, and David Brian Lindsay, a.k.a. Brown Eyes, were members of other gangs in Chicago, Illinois. Understand what they just said, because there's a lot of stuff that's about to get real interesting. On or about November 6, 2020, DB, a high-ranking OTF member and close associate and friend of defendant Banks, got into a physical altercation with TB. So DB is King Von, TB is Taquan Bowman, aka Quando Rondo, at a nightclub in Atlanta, Georgia. During the fight, an associate of TB pulled out a gun and shot DB multiple times, killing him. After the murder, defendant Banks made clear in coded language that he would pay a bounty or monetary reward or make payment to anyone who took part in killing TB for his role in DB's murder. On or about August 18, 2022, the conspirators learned that TB was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles, California. As alleged in counts 1 through 3, after learning of TB's location, at the direction of the defendant Banks, defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 traveled from Chicago, Illinois to Los Angeles, California for the purpose of murdering TB. On that same day, August 18, 2022, defendants Banks and Grant also traveled by private jet to Los Angeles, California. As alleged in counts 1 through 3, on August 19, 2022, at the direction of defendant Banks, defendant Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 used 2 vehicles to track, stalk, and attempt to kill TB by gunfire, including with a fully automatic firearm, resulting in the death of SR. 18 USC 1958A, count 1. All defendants. Paragraphs 1 through 5 of the introductory allegations of this second superseding indictment are realleged and incorporated here. Object of the conspiracy. Beginning on a date unknown, but no later than on or around November 6, 2020, and continuing to on or about August 19, 2022, in Los Angeles County, within the Central District of California, and elsewhere, defendants Durk Banks, also known as a.k.a. Lil Durk, a.k.a. Blood, a.k.a. Mustafa Abdul Malik, Kevon London Grant, a.k.a. Cuz, a.k.a. Vonnie Dontrell Wilson, a.k.a. Didi, Keith Jones, a.k.a. Flocka, David Brian Lindsay, a.k.a. Brown Eyes, and Asa Houston, a.k.a. Boogie, and co-conspirators, all known and unknown, conspired and agreed with each other to knowingly use facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, namely planes, cars, cell phones, and the internet, with intent that the murder of TB be committed in violation of the laws of any state namely the state of California, as consideration for the receipt of and consideration for a promise and agreement to pay anything of pecuniary value, namely money and lucrative music opportunities with LTF, in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 1958A, the use of interstate facilities, the use of interstate facilities to commit murder that was the object of the conspiracy resulted in the death of SR, means by which the object of the conspiracy was to be accomplished. The object of the conspiracy was to be accomplished in substance as follows. Defendant Banks would place bounties on individuals that he and other OTF members wanted to kill, including TB as part of the bounty co-conspirators, known and unknown, including defendants Banks and Wilson, would pay anyone who took part in the killing of TB and/or reward individuals with lucrative music opportunities with OTF. Co-conspirators known and unknown, including defendants Banks and Wilson, will recruit others, including defendants Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 to find, track, and kill TB. At the direction of defendant Banks, defendant Grant would produce cars, ski masks, and firearms that would be used by co-conspirators to find, track, and kill TB. Using the credit card associated with OTF, co-conspirators 3 will purchase airplane tickets for the co-conspirators to fly to California and murder TB. Defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 would travel from Chicago, Illinois to Southern California via airplane to find, track, and kill TB. Defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 would travel throughout Los Angeles County via cars procured by defendant Grant to find, track, and kill TB. Defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 would communicate via cell phone to coordinate logistics to find, track, and kill TB. Defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 would fire multiple shots at TB, killing SR, who was a passenger in TB's vehicle. Overt acts on or about the following dates in furtherance of the conspiracy and to accomplish its object. Defendants Banks, Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirators 2 through 5, and others known and unknown, committed various overt acts in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California and elsewhere, including but not limited to the following. Overt act number 1. Following and killing a DB on or about November 6, 2020, defendant Banks, using coded language, told defendant Wilson, co-conspirators 2, 4, and 5, and others that he would pay a bounty or monetary reward to anyone who took part in the killing of TB. Overt act number 2. On August 18, 2022, one or more co-conspirators, including defendant Banks and co-conspirator 4, learned that TB was visiting California and staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. Overt act number 3. On August 18, 2022, defendant Banks and Grant flew from Miami, Florida to Los Angeles, California on a private jet so that defendants Banks and Grant could help coordinate the murders of TB. Overt act number 4. On August 18, 2022, defendant Banks and co-conspirator 5 asked co-conspirator 2 to travel to Southern California later that day. Overt act number 5. On August 18, 2022, defendant Wilson recruited defendants Jones and Lindsay to travel to California for the purpose of murdering TB and help facilitate such travel by, among other things, texting co-conspirator 3 biographical information about defendants Jones and Lindsay so that co-conspirator 3 could book flights to Southern California. Specifically, defendant Jones' name, date of birth, and a picture of defendant Jones' ID card, and defendant Lindsay's name, date of birth, and a picture of defendant Lindsay ID card. Overt act number 6. On August 18, 2022, defendant Banks texts co-conspirator 3, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." Overt act number 7. On August 18, 2022, using a credit card ending in 2039, OTF credit card 1, co-conspirator 3 purchased airplane tickets for defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 to travel from Chicago, Illinois to San Diego, California that same day. Overt act number 8. On August 18, 2022, co-conspirator 3 confirmed to defendant Wilson via text message that defendants Wilson, Jones, and Lindsay had the same airline ticket confirmation. Overt act number 9. On August 18, 2022, defendant Wilson messaged a friend on Instagram, "On my way to LA." Overt act number 10. On August 18, 2022, defendant Houston texts co-conspirator 3, "On got clear, I'm 15 minutes away from the airport." Overt act number 11. On August 18, 2022, defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 flew from Chicago, Illinois to San Diego, California via the airplane tickets procured by co-conspirator 3 using OTF credit card 1. Overt act number 12. On August 18, 2022, defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2 traveled towards Los Angeles County in a car to meet with defendant Grant. Overt act number 13. On August 18, 2022, defendant Grant purchased 4 black ski masks from a sporting goods store in Los Angeles County using cash. Overt act number 14. On August 18, 2022, using a credit card ending in 1015, OTF credit card number 2, defendant Grant rented a hotel room for the co-conspirators located in Los Angeles, California, the Universal City Hotel. Overt act number 15. On August 18, 2022, in or around Los Angeles, California, defendant Grant met with the co-conspirators and provided defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 with firearms, including a firearm that had been modified to operate as a fully automatic machine gun to kill TB. Overt act number 16. Hold on, this stuff just did some stuff I wasn't supposed to do. So overt act number 16. On August 18, 2022, defendant Grant provided 2 cars for defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and co-conspirator 2 to use to find, track, and kill TB. A white BMW sedan, the BMW from a rental company in Los Angeles County, and a white Infiniti sedan, the Infiniti with a fake license plate. Overt act number 17. On August 18, 2022, defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirators 2 traveled in a BMW and Infiniti to a hotel in downtown Los Angeles, California, where TB was staying, the downtown LA hotel, to find, track, and kill TB. Overt act number 18. On August 19, 2022, using a BMW and an Infiniti, defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2 traveled to the downtown LA hotel, where TB was staying to find, track, and kill TB. Overt act number 19. On August 19, 2022, using a BMW and Infiniti, defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston, and the co-conspirator 2 followed and tracked TB's black Escalade to a marijuana dispensary located on Flower Street in Los Angeles, California. Whoa. Overt act number 20. On August 19, 2022, using a BMW. I'm going to skip everybody's name and just go what happened, because this is getting pretty repetitive. So on August 19, 2022, using a BMW, they followed and tracked TB's black Escalade to a clothing store located on Melrose in West Hollywood, California. The image below shows the BMW Infiniti following the black Escalade, in which TB and SR were passengers as the black Escalade traveled towards the clothing store. So y'all can see right here. This is where they're pointing out the white BMW. Bro, I ain't gonna hold you. They slightly just slipping. Anyways, overt act number 21. On August 19th, that's where the stalking charge comes from, by the way. On August 19th, using the BMW and Infiniti, they tracked TB's black Escalade to a gas station located on Beverly Boulevard in Los Angeles, California, the Beverly gas station. On August 19, 2022, defendant Houston drove the Infiniti to an alley behind the Beverly gas station and parked the vehicle so that defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 could attempt to murder TB. Overt act number 23. On August 19th, 2022, at the Beverly gas station, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 used the firearms procured by defendant Grant, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot at TB's car, striking and killing SR, who was standing next to TB's car while TB was inside. The image below shows defendant Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 firing their guns at TB's black Escalade. So as you can see, obviously, this is where they're shooting at, where they caught him. And unfortunately, he's no longer here. So let's do it this way. Overt act number 24. On August 19, 2022, in the Infiniti driven by defendant Houston, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 fled the alley behind the Beverly gas station after the conspirators shot and killed SR. Overt act number 25. On August 19, 2022, defendants Grant, Jones, Wilson, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2 traveled to a hamburger restaurant in Los Angeles, where the co-conspirators discussed, among other things, payments to defendants Jones and Lindsay for the shooting earlier that day. Yeah, they definitely got a snitch amongst their ranks, bruh. Somebody told all of this. Overt act number 26. On August 19, 2022, using OTF credit card number 1, co-conspirator 3 purchased airline tickets from San Diego, California to Chicago, Illinois, and defendants Wilson's, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2. Well, for them, basically. Overt act number 27. On August 19, 2022, defendants Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston and co-conspirator 2 flew back to Chicago, Illinois from San Diego, California. So count two. All defendants beginning on a date unknown but no later than on or around August 18, 2022 and continuing to on or about August 19, 2022 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California and elsewhere defendants Durk Banks, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, Asa Houston, and co-conspirators known and unknown, each aiding and abetting the other knowingly use facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, namely airplanes, cars, cell phones, and the internet with intent that the murder of TB be committed in violation of laws of any state, namely the state of California, as consideration for the receipt of and consideration for a promise and agreement to pay anything of pecuniary value, namely money and lucrative music opportunities with OTF resulting in the death of SR. And then this is basically the same thing where they basically say, same thing. So, yeah. We can read the bottom part because I don't need to really say all of this stuff. Basically, in co-conspirators known and unknown, each aiding and abetting the other with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, and place under surveillance with intent to kill, injure, harass, and intimidate TB and others inside TB's vehicle, including SR, the victims, used and willfully caused the use of facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, namely airplanes, cars, cell phones, and the internet to engage in a course of conduct that placed the victims in reasonable fear of death or serious bodily injury and attempted to cause and would be reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress to the victims, resulting in the death of SR. Count four is basically the same thing, and then abetting each other, and it's just talking about the firearms that they had. So, knew to be a machine gun during the and in relation to, and possessed such firearms in furtherance of crimes of violence, namely use of interstate facilities. So basically, this is a stalking one, but they use the firearms right here. So, charged to count two of this second superseding indictment, stalking resulting in death in violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 2261A, 2A, and so on and so forth. Count five, basically talking about more firearms. Defendant Jones, on or about August 19, 2022 in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California. Defendant Keith Jones, a.k.a. Flocka, normally possessed a machine gun as defined in Title 18, United States Code Section 921A3, and Title number 26, United States Code Section 5845B, namely a 10 millimeter caliber firearm equipped with an auto sear conversion device, which was designed and intended solely and exclusively for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun, which defendant Jones knew to be a machine gun. And then basically they're going through right here. Forfeiture allegation 1. This is interesting. Pursuant to Rule 32.2 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, notice is hereby given that the United States of America will seek forfeiture as part of any sentence pursuant to Title 18, United States Code Section 981. Forfeiture could be anything. We talking about money. Oh, well, they'll put it right here. I'm pretty sure. Any defendant so convicted shall forfeit to the United States of America the following: all right, title, and interest in any and all property. Oh, they want it all. Oh, well, I told you that's going to get good. Real or personal, constituting or derived from any proceeds traceable to any of the offenses. Basically, if they got money for that, the feds want that money. If they got anything for that, the feds want that. To the extent such property is not available for forfeiture, a sum of money equal to the total value of the property described in subparagraphs A and B. Pursuant to Title 21, United States Code Section 853P, as incorporated by Title 28, United States Code Section 2461C, any defendant so convicted shall forfeit substitute property up to the value of the property described in a preceding paragraph if, as the result of any act or omission of said defendant, the property described in the preceding paragraph or any portion thereof, A, cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred, sold to, or deposited with a third party, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished in value, or has been commingled with other property that cannot be divided without difficulty. Boy, oh boy. So basically, they just saying they want all of that. So here we go. We're just going to skip this part right here and get straight. Any defendant convicted shall forfeit to the United States of America the following: all right, title, and interest in any firearm, ammunition involved. So they talking about guns, basically for the property and all this stuff. To the extent this property is not available for forfeiture, a sum of money equal to the total value of the property described as paragraph A pursuant to Title 21 United States Code. Any defendant shall forfeit seven. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, basically, yeah. If they gave up the money, there you go. Substantially diminished value. So yeah, bro, this right here, I'm gonna break it down for y'all a little bit more, and yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. If you agree, you agree. Does that not seem a lot worse than the original one that we got? The first superseding indictment that we got, bro, I ain't gonna hold you, but that one looked way worse than the actual first one. So here's where the Drew W comes from. And I believe this helps out in the long run. He got rid of the lyrics. Drew getting rid of those lyrics helps get rid of an illustration that they were trying to paint against Lil Durk. That's just the facts. But one of the biggest things, and I think a lot of you guys would get on me if I did not point this out, is this is a lot more detailed than what we originally got. Now, there's another one, I'm going to drop it a little bit later, a Lil Durk, and we'll definitely drop it, where the second murder for hire alleged, it drops, bruh, it gets worse, it gets bad. This ain't the doom and gloom Durk channel over here, but to keep it authentic with you, is he still coming home? My opinion, yeah. But if you switch your opinion today based off new evidence, we can't get mad at you. There's nobody in the comment section who will get mad at you for that, because that right there, that second superseding indictment is far worse. It just is. This is technically bad news, but does this not reek of Scorn Lover? Does it not? Does this not reek of that? Does this not reek of, like, bruh, hold on, man. Y'all just went here. The thing is the feds are pissed. The feds are pissed because of a couple of things. They got to throw out the lyrics. If they would have kept them lyrics in there, that whole entire stuff that's going on tomorrow, the whole entire hearing, I believe about 60% of that, 65% of that would have been used on lyrics. And how the feds did not do their due diligence and just rushed into this. That's what I believe, that the whole entire lyrics being dropped was so that the feds can look good as far as the bail that's going on for tomorrow. Because I'll just let it go right now. I don't believe Durk's getting bond. I just don't. I said it in the last video. I think the nature of the crimes, essentially trying to paint Lil Durk as this powerful villain of Chicago with money. That part right there, bruh, I believe that's going to screw it all up. Now, with that being said, long run, it seems as though Durk still has a good chance. But the glaring obvious, and I know you all going to say this, they got snitches, plural, with a big old S. It is snitches in there. There is no way anybody could have read that and said, bruh, hey, Durk don't got people telling on him. Nah, Durk got people telling on him. He got people, bruh. To me, it's going to boil down to cross-examination, believability, and likability. People buy from people they like. People get stuff from people that they like, even if it's a little more expensive than other people. It's just rudimentary psychology. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this. So y'all think Lil Durk coming home? Because one of the things that stood out to me is in Drew's motion, he said they got rid of the bounty part. He said they got rid of the lyrics. They got rid of the bounty part. So I'm just curious, what the hell? Because you just made a liar out of me within the first freaking words. They just said that crap. So, yeah, buddy. Drew, like Adam said to Lush, you lied to me. Why would he say that? I don't know. So, hey, it is what it is. Subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified, share to keep your people aware. Man, we got almost 4K likes on the last video. Can we do it again, friends? Y'all let me know.